it's me, it's Matt Marshall, man, also known as Joseph Norm Kirby Boyer. I'm back. I know it's been a while since we did anything comic book related, but in view of what's been going on with DC and Marvel, I thought I'd do this little kind of pitch piece or just speak my mind. As you know, Marvel, I wasn't going to talk about Marvel today, but DC is doing this convergence stuff. And they keep on bringing back all these old characters, and there's currently a petition right now circulating to bring back the classic DC. And I kind of like that idea of bringing back the classic DC, because I admit, anyone who's been watching our show for quite some time knows that I've not been a big fan of the New 52. But I gave it a try. I gave it its chance. I'm still buying DC Comics. But when the New 52 came around, because other people who know me for a long time know fully well that I'm always drawing and coming up with new concepts. My original ones, and other ones too. And when the New 52 launched, after a couple of months, I was not very happy. And I decided to do, what if they brought back the classic DC? Remember when Coke did a New Coke many years ago? And then they brought back classic Coke and New Coke? Now you only have the classic Coke. You don't have the New Coke anymore. And I just thought, well, how could DC explain the New 52 away and bring back the old 52? Well, it's really simple. The Flashpoint is a bridge. The whole New 52 is a whole different set of 52 universes. You still have the classic 52 universes. The Flashpoint universe is the joiner of the two. So that's pretty simple. But I thought, well, what if you actually were to bring back the old DC classics, the old DC comic books? And I thought, well, you wouldn't want to bring it back the same way. You want to bring it back more as a classic DC or DC Comics classics. And I thought, well, if you're going to bring them back, you want to make some changes because it's more fun. Because it's been, keep in mind too, by the time they would bring this thing back would be about several years would gone by. And I thought, well, why not DC Comics Classic, DC Classics plus 10? Go back to the stories we left pre-Flashpoint, then add 10 years. This gives DC a chance to do a whole bunch of flashback stories, but also gives DC a chance to basically, guess what? Make changes and still have all the fans like myself want to read these books. So I came up with a whole little concept of some characters we'd bring back, a limited number of titles, which I'll talk about in a minute, and also the new costume designs. Now I will tell you in the presentation, some of my designs are done on a computer, some of my old handwritten drawings from something before. But let's just talk about this. DC plus 10. We go back to the classic DC universe. It's 10 years later. Plain and simple. We're just jumping 10 years in the future. So what we would have is, we would have, for example, classic DC, Batman. The Batman comic would be Detective Comics and only Detective Comics. And I would see this. Batman and Catwoman are married and they have twins, roughly age 4. Damon calls himself Demon Wing. Robin's now a girl, which we all us classic people wanted Robin as a girl. Batgirl is now Batwoman with a new sidekick. The Batwoman, now Redback, working with Red Hood, aka Red Wing and Flamebird. See what I mean? Nightwing has a new costume and he's married. Red Robin is now based out of the Wayne Tower, working with Batwing and Blonde Batgirl. Yes, I'm bringing back the Blonde Batgirl. Okay, Black Bat's back in Gotham. The White Bat, one of my own creations, by the way. Years ago I thought about, well, Bruce, he'd be traveling the world around. He would come up with, he probably would have a kid. So this is Bruce's daughter. She's older than Damien, but she's also trained in martial arts. So she's the White Bat. And Alfred's retired. That was the DC pitch. Now, if my assistant will go to the first group of images, we're going to bring them up, please. Batman plus 10. Here are the basic new looks. For example, Batman's a bit darker, gray symbol, all in black. Look, Batgirl's now Batwoman, Batgirl, Black Bat. You see what I mean? I've actually done the work. If you want to just scroll down a bit, you can see that I've actually put some thought into this. Basically, they all look pretty much similar. White Bat is my original design from years ago, but you see what I mean, how we've changed the look. For example, Robin would have gauntlets and not gauntlets. Just change the look out. Now, so we'll tab this one down. I want to back up here, please. Back this one up. Okay. Next one would be, well, do DC back next. We'll go back to the dialogue, please. We'll come back to the images in a second. Okay, if you go going down, you got Superman, Clark and Lois are on the verge of divorce or divorced. Because when we left the pre-New 52, they were married. Supergirl now calls herself Superwoman. Superboy calls himself Valor now, which is also tying into the wonderful history of DC Comics. Oh, and by the way, Superman has a sister. One of the stories I came up with years ago was a way of returning certain characters back to Superman. And I found a loophole in the old continuity where Jor-El and Lara could come back. Different story, which I will explain later, or maybe another video, but Superman has a sister. She calls herself Ura. Matrix is back, and she's now Supergirl. I always liked the Matrix character. Power Girl calls herself Power Woman now. There are two new clones of Power Girl and Superboy. Okay, one story I came up with was Superman's DNA and Power Girl's DNA gets intermixed. There's a new character out of that one, okay, which is a different storyline. Here is the whole return of the storyline. That's the storyline for this one. Now, if we keep going down, the Justice League is back. Yes, they have new members from the Titans, Young All-Stars, Huntress, team leaders Ray Palmer. He's the new Captain Atom, by the way. Wonder Woman's still there. Talon, Superman, the third Kryptonian. If you know your history, you know who that is. Icon, because I like the milestone characters. I think they're important. And Static are all part of the Justice League. Titans, Wonder Girl is now Wonder. Just plain simple Wonder. Superboy, Valor. They come back from the Flashpoint universe. I have a storyline lined up for that as well. The Titans were stuck in the Flashpoint universe for quite a few many years. But they're now coming back. So the new Titans are brought in to replace those in the JLA. The Flash. I use this on my old Fast storyline, which is a hand-drawn storyline from way back when Barry Allen was dead, and I found a way to bring him back that made so much sense. It was a brilliant storyline. Instead, they just had Barry Allen pop out of the time. Top out of time and the Speed Force, which is a really lame thing. JSA is back. I think the JSA is important. You have Liberty Bell, Hardware, Rocket. Yes, you have milestone characters in here and a whole bunch of other ones. Keep going down, please. Okay, Green Arrow. Ollie and Dan are back together. They're based out of Gotham now. Green Lantern, the GLAs have been off Earth for 5 years. The Omega Man, which oddly enough, which I came up with 5 years ago, the New 52 is relaunching again. Coinkydink, and they're back with the Dark Stars. Aquaman. I said this years ago, he'd be in charge of his own team. Go figure, they actually did it. Hawkman, new costume, darker, based out of Seattle. Wonder Woman, new costume, new love interest. Yes, Wonder Woman being an Amazon would most likely be bisexual. And her new love interest is Maxima. If you remember her character, she's pretty much a Superman. The Lost Worlds is basically, I thought about characters I liked. Kamandi, Sakaris, John Claude Wars. And what I really basically do is, they're actually not in the center of the Earth. What those portals are portals to a Dyson sphere in the red spot, guess where, in Jupiter or Saturn. Take your pick which one, whether they're inside a Dyson sphere, within a Dyson sphere. So for Kamandi's world's on the top, the Lost World Sakaris is inside. So you actually travel back and forth to that Lost World. Okay, the Legion. I love Legion of Superheroes, but I always want to do a Legion that's further down, that has more other characters from, like for example, I have ancestral characters and so forth come back. I do like Legion 3000, but mine was thought up years ago and it's a better one. Booster Gold is a key figure in saving Flashpoint and everything else, which they're doing anyway. Okay? And you can still keep the New 52 separate from the old. So if you tap this one down, we'll just go through the designs real quick. So hit the large icons, please. As you can see, a lot of the stuff is, this is just with backdrops. Okay? So let's back out of this one, click. Okay, let's do Hawkman plus 10. So I only did 2 designs so far, but basically big icons, please. Okay, new sidekick, Black Hawk and Hawkman. It's a darker costume. As you can see, nice darker costume. Sort of gold eagle-ish color. So let's back out. Justice League plus 10. Please, once again, the large images. So as you can see, this, I haven't redrawn these characters yet, but these are the ones I'd have in Justice League. I do have versions of these guys in pencils, but I didn't do them on computer yet. But basically, this would be the new Justice League. You have to admit, you want to scroll down, please? This would be a pretty impressive team for the Justice League. That'd be a very good Justice League, wouldn't it? Okay, you want to go to the next one, please. JSA plus 10. Large icons. Now in this case, most of the original founding members are more of instructors to the younger people, the newer people. And yes, I'm bringing her from the comic books and I think it's pretty cool. Okay, it's back out. Now I am working on designs for these myself, so you would have to change the costumes a bit, but I didn't get a chance to do them all. Superman plus 10. Okay, I've redesigned the costumes. As you can see, some are really simple, some are modified. Okay, if you go down a little bit. This would be Superman's sister. Long story involved in that one. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics right now, so let's back up. Titans plus 10. So I haven't finished all my redesigns yet, so some of them are just basically who I have in there. They'd be the base for the Teen Titans now. Now if you go back out, unfortunately this might take a bit, back out again. Okay, you need to go into Designs. Click on the regular icon thing. Just large icons. No, large icons. Okay, back it up again. Sorry, I'm doing this top of my head. I didn't rehearse this or anything. After what's been going on, I feel I have to talk about this. Designs, click that one, please.
I did.
Oh no, this one, Designs. This one here. Okay, go down to, keep going down. We want DC. So as you said, I've done a whole bunch of stuff for that. But for example, I will show you, do Heroes Reborn. Click on this one. Large images, please. These are some of the designs and characters I'd want to bring back. Ray Palmer as Captain Atom. The story involved is that Ray Palmer is sent to examine a piece of the shell of Captain Atom, who's still missing, by the way. And as he shrinks down, it forms an exoskeleton over him. He doesn't really have all the Captain Atom powers, but when he's now atom-sized, he is super strong, more than so, and also when he can keep the shell on in full size. I would bring back Jade in a different form, the Huntress 3. I basically would bring back some of the characters we remember from the Young All-Stars and modify them. For example, the Golden Fury 3 would be a fun thing to have. Let's go down a bit more. Okay. Just like, for example, a new Flying Fox. Going through DC's history, I found the old Golden Era character, and I created a new character called the Silver Squire. This is basically what I want to do. I want to bring back characters that DC in their great history has. For example, Koryak, Captain X. If you know your characters from before, I bring back Aquaman slightly different as well. So this is what I want to pitch. I mean, this is it. So if you go back, please, there's a whole bunch more. Okay, let's go back down to... Okay, let's go DC Specials. These are stuff I came up with a long time ago. Krypton's Secret, for example. This would be the story that would explain the return of Jor-El, the return of Lara. So basically, Jor-El is here. I won't go into the details, but you have a history of the DC universe about Krypton and Daxam and what really happened. This is all based on stuff in the DC history universe. I did my research. I found those loopholes. Thank you, John Byrne, for making one of those big loopholes for me. If you back out again. Okay, Lara is the story of course, Superman's mother, the Allies, please. And I always said Superman was a mama's boy. His mother is very fierce, and yes, that is an eradicator device. And there's his sister in different forms. Okay? Back out. It also brings in the history of the Controllers, the Dominion. It's a good play. I think forget the enemies for now. And one more. And last but not least, Sacrifice was my idea way back when, which you might have seen once before, how to bring back Barry Allen as a Flash. But I realized DC plus 10, it'd be really cool to bring him back. This would be Barry Allen's character, changing costume, a bit more similar to the Jay Garrick Flash of old, and also bring back some other speeches that we've all missed. So I won't go into detail about that, but that's basically it. So here's my pitch. If you guys actually want the classic DC to come back, which I do as well, okay? If you really want the classic DC to come back, which I do as well, which a lot of people do, because the New 52, even though it has a few good points, it's not the same. Sign that petition. Please sign that petition to bring back the classic DC. And if you like my ideas, please spread my ideas out. Share this video with other people about, hey, this guy has an idea how to bring back classic DC. He does his research. I know what I'm talking about. I've designed over 2,000 plus characters. Actually, I have over 10,000 characters, some of which I've already seen the light of day in DC Comics. I have friends like Jeff Fisherwood, Bernie Moreau, are friends of mine. Okay? I know what I'm talking about. I'm not a writer. I'm more of a creator. I'd probably be more of an editor. But I have this passion for DC Comics, and I want to see it back to what it was before. Back when DC Comics meant good comic book storytelling. Storytelling that grew up with you. And I know from a marketing standpoint, DC is probably thinking, well, can we make money with this? Okay, DC, Coke did it. So, hey, the marketing people at Time Warner and DC, Coke did this. They did the new product that people didn't like. They pushed it for years, and they brought back the classic. And guess what? The classic was great. And if you want to keep the New 52 going, please do. My whole concept is max 14 comic books. That's it. Detective comics, action comics, Classic DC Justice League, Lost Worlds. It'd be like max 14 comic books. That'd be, guess what? You'd have one comic book come out roughly every week, along with the New 52. And people like me would buy it. So that's pretty much it. If you love the old DC like I do, and hopefully you like my idea, I will be working more on this, even if it's just for myself, because I like the idea of bringing back the DC Plus 10, because I have a lot of stories in mind for that to do. It'd be really good, especially my stuff with Green Lantern. No comment on there, but like I said, sign that petition, share this video, and who knows, maybe someone at DC or Time Warner will see it and go, hey, that guy's right. He has a better idea for the DC Classic Universe, and these people want to change. So Mad Montreal Man, aka Joseph Boyer, is saying, thanks for watching, and like I said, share this video, sign a petition, and I'm out of here. I'm going to go do some more drawing now.